Well, Coasters, I'm at the Minerals Institute in Denali, and a lot of you won't know about it, but they've just opened a couple of new laboratories, and so I've managed to convince Thomas to perhaps give us a bit of a look around. Thomas, thanks so much for taking the time to show me around.
You're welcome.
Tell me, like, we all know where it's located, and we all know that you're researching stuff. And today we had a large group of people from Auckland University here. Were they impressed?
I think so. I think it was a really good day, and we're very thankful for the facility we have here. It's probably one of the only facilities in New Zealand that has this arrangement of equipment, and using this equipment we're going to benefit the West Coast.
So what have we got?
So we've got a range of equipment, all the way from preparation equipment to some of these high-end bits of equipment. So over here you have a dry magnetic separator. So over here you can start to take some of the sand, particularly the black sand from the West Coast, and start to divide up the minerals into different values. Over here you have what's called an electrostatic separator. So it's using electricity and the conductive nature of the minerals to separate them.
So you take standard beach sands or something and then separate or grab it?
Yeah, so everyone knows about gold mining on the West Coast. There's beautiful gold here, but there's also a number of other minerals. And that's what we're trying to promote and demonstrate how you can extract here. Since you've picked up the sand and you're processing the gold out, why not take out the ilmenites, the garnets, the zircons? And also what we're doing here is looking at the rare earth elements, the REEs.
What is a rare earth element? I hear a lot about it. Never really been able to get my head around what it means.
Yeah, so a rare earth element is some of those elements that are right down the bottom of the periodic table that have some really funny names. And they are going to be some of the future. They're called green technology. So you're using those elements in your mobile phones, in the batteries in particular, but they're also using them more and more in the rechargeables. So your electric cars, your wind turbines, all these products need those elements.
Wow.
So we do have those on the West Coast.
So the West Coast area is would you say it's rich in rare earths?
We're starting to find some information now. It's been not well known or well mapped.
Yep.
But some of the data that we have extracted in the last couple of weeks and months is starting to show that there are some really interesting and great opportunities for some of these elements on the West Coast.
So I guess if you find them, will that transfer and become a commercial reality, will it, or a commercial opportunity?
Exactly.
Possibly.
That's what we're trying to do here. So we want to work with the gold miners because they're already processing this and making these black sands, and then going, well, why don't we add this bit of equipment or that bit of equipment to your already process and extract this mineral here as well. We can help find the markets, we can help find the technical resources to then, what we'd like to, our end goal, would be able to do some of the further processing here in New Zealand. Initially it would be overseas, but we'd also love to be able to build processing plants on the West Coast, to create some of these high-end metals for the industry. And
so in the first place, it's identification, isn't it, of the various minerals?
So that's one of the first things we've been doing over the last, people might ask, what have we been doing? It's been identifying these minerals. So we've been using University of Otago under some of their very high-end microscopes and being able to identify these minerals and say, these minerals are on the West Coast, we can prove it. The next step after you've identified the mineral is how do you separate them? That's where the challenge comes. That's where these bits of equipment come, and textbooks say it's easy, but reality is very hard.
So what else have we got here, Tom? What's this thing here?
So here is it's a crusher. We're using this to break up some of the hard rocks.
Yep.
So a lot of our work is with the mineral sands on the West Coast, where you've already had the ocean and the rivers break it up. But we also want to work with some of the inland hard rock mines. And initially when you get the rock, you need to break it apart down to the dust, and then it separates it. So you've got a separator next to it.
So that's like a crusher?
That's a crusher. You've got a separator which separates the sample into multiple different samples.
Yep.
And then you've got a sizer here. So this is a large sizer that allows you to break a sample down to its different size fractions. So you can analyze it, because we're starting to find that the valuable minerals are congregating in certain size fractions, which will help change the profitability of how you mine them.
Wow.
And if you come through the door through here, up and down to this one.
Oh, a bit more.
So in here we have a bench flotation unit. So this one here is another way of extracting the minerals using flotation. Flotation is commonly used in Australia, where it grabs the sulfides and it can pull the sulfides out along with some of the other valuable minerals. So it's a test work that we want to do on West Coast minerals using that machine.
So is that similar to, say, I was at a gold mine in Canada, an underground mine, where they were separating copper and gold and skimming it. The stuff floated to the top. Then
exactly. That's what. So that's where my experience is. So I've come from gold mines and copper mines in Australia,
right?
And we floated the material